Hey everyone, welcome back to Iguana Gaming. I'm the Iguana, and today we are playing some Ark Survival Evolved Mobile Edition. Now today what we are going to do is we are going to go over some basics of how to tame creatures that you find out in the wild. There are a few different taming methods, so we're going to go over a few of the most basic ones today, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how to start out. So the first one we're going to do is the easiest one. That's the passive taming method. So you see here we have this moss chops that's wandering around behind us. And if you go up close to them, you can see that it has a feed Tintoberry to tame sign on its on the inventory thing up there. So what we are going to do is we are going to tap on the Tintoberry in the last slot of our hotbar. Whoop. Just like that. Perfect. And so now it says wait until it's hungry again, but it does have a taming bar and it does have the taming signal now. So all you need to do for a passive tame is follow the creature around and wait for it to get hungry again. And every time it gets hungry, you need to go up, tap on that icon, and give it a berry. All right. This one is really easy because the moss chops isn't afraid of you or anything like that. So if you're trying to tame one of the little monkeys that wanders around on the island, those will run away from you. They are a passive tame, but they are easily scared. So if it sees you in front of it, it will run away. So you have to be really careful when you're sneaking up on the monkeys. You can also tame a Lystrosaurus this way, and that's pretty easy as well. They just kind of hang out on the beach and they're an easy tame. All right. Are you almost done, Mr. Moss Chops? It can take quite a while because the hunger of these creatures basically decreases over time, and when it gets hungry enough, then you can feed it. So it can take quite a while for this to happen. There we go. All right. And now we have tamed ourselves a Moss Chops. So that's the easy method. There are only a few creatures that use this passive taming method. The moss chops is one, the Lystrosaurus is another, the Mesopithecus, which is the little monkey, and the Diplodocus or Diplodocus, however you like to say it, the big sauropod with the long whippy tail. That one is also a passive taming method. Okay. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go over the next taming method, which is to use a bola and a club. So parasaurs are a really good early game mount. They don't really do a lot of damage or anything, but they're pretty quick and they're good at gathering berries. So real quick, I'm going to make sure that this guy's on passive because he right now will attack anything that I attack. To do that, I just double tap, 2 taps, nope. Okay, it's 2 fingers tapping on the right hand side of the screen. That's what it is. Okay. And then you hit passive. All right, so now he won't attack anything, even if I'm attacking something. So that one's in the water. You don't want to knock something out in the water because it will drown. So maybe we will go around. I'm waiting for the parasaur to come up on land, really. That's all we need. Can you please come back up here? I was trying to do a thing. Okay. So I believe you learn the bola at level 7. And it does work on a parasaur, so it holds the parasaur still. Then what you can do is go up with a club, and you can just hit the creature with a club. And you want to be careful because it is possible to kill a creature this way, and if you kill something, obviously you can't tame it. And you want to do this before the bola breaks. There we go. Because if the bola breaks, the creature will start to run away. Parasaurs do run away if they get attacked at all. Okay, so that's the club. The club is a really useful weapon. It does a lot more torpor damage than it does health damage, and so that's how you can knock stuff unconscious, like this parasaur. All right, we're going to take a look at this guy. Okay, so when you go to tame any creature, the basic thing you're going to need to do is give it the right food. So in this case, parasaurs are herbivores, which means they will eat any type of berry or crop. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give it these purple berries. These purple berries are pretty much the best berry for any creature that eats berries at all. So if you have an herbivore, you're going to be better off feeding it purple berries than yellow or blue or red berries. Those are called mejo berries. All right. And so then you just wait around. The creature will eat as it gets hungry. You can see its food stat is dropping. And when it gets low enough, it will actually automatically eat a berry. And that's how you tame a creature. So you don't need to force feed the creature. You just let it eat on its own. Now the exception to that is if the creature is starting to wake up. Let me grab some berries here. I can see if I can show you. I need some narco berries. There we go. So now if the unconscious meter is dropping faster than the taming meter is rising, in this case it's not, but if it were, I'm going to show you what you would do, is you would get some narco berries or some narcotics, either one of these will work, and you would just click the feed button while you have the narco berry selected. So you can see I force-fed it a narco berry. Now that causes the torpor to rise just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and feed it a couple so you can see. The torpor is rising. So that basically keeps the creature unconscious until it eats all of the taming food that you've given it. So it will automatically eat taming food. You are going to have to force feed it. That's not my torch. You're going to have to force feed it in order to keep it unconscious. There we go. And of course. Hello, Pteranodon. Okay. So I'm going to wait for this parasaur to wake up. As you can see, it is taking quite a while, but this is how the taming process works. This is pretty quick compared to most tames, so that's pretty good. So I'll bring you guys back when this parasaur is up and we can look at a few other items. Okay, so our parasaur is now awake and tamed. You will get a notification saying you tamed the creature. It will pop up and it will have this little green outline to let you know that it is tamed by you. You can also expand this so you can see that I have indeed tamed it, that it is following me, and that it's female and can mate. Okay, so now the first thing I like to do for a creature is give it a saddle. So I've already made one up, and how you make a saddle is you go into your Ingram's menu, and each creature has a saddle that you can learn at a certain level if it's rideable. So in this case, you can learn the Parasaur saddle at level 10. You can learn an Ichthyosaurus saddle at level 13, a Trikes saddle at level 16, and so on. So what that means for us is once you put the saddle into their inventory, you can now go to that saddle and equip it, just like that. And now you can see that under this little sign that says their stats, they now have an armor rating of 25. If I take the saddle off, their armor rating is 0.1. So a saddle actually helps to keep your creatures alive because it gives them some protection from when creatures attack it. And then you can just tap to mount up, and now you have a creature to ride around on, which is pretty great. So if you tap on the right hand side of the screen, you can attack things. Parasaurs are really only good for gathering berries. I don't suggest that you try to attack too many creatures with them because they don't have a very good damage rating, and they can't they basically just aren't attack creatures. So use them for gathering and moving stuff around, but please don't use them for attacking stuff unless you have a really strong parasaur for some reason. Okay, so I'm gonna wait until it gets light, and then we are gonna go over how to use Tranq Arrows. So I will see you guys in just a little bit when we are ready to do that. Okay everyone, we are back, and I am going to show you how to make some Tranq Arrows. I'm going to level up my stam real quick. Alright, so if you go into your Ingram's menu, this one right here in the center of the upper left hand menu, and you scroll down to level 21, you will see a few items here. one of which is the Tranq Arrow. So you're going to learn how to make that Tranq Arrow and then open to crafting. Now, what you need to make a Tranq Arrow is listed here in the lower right hand corner. You need stone arrows and you need narcotic. So I'm going to go ahead and craft quite a few of these just by continuously tapping. You can also tap and hold to craft a specific amount. How many is that going to give us? About 20. Okay. So what we're going to do next is go into the inventory with all of our completed Tranq Arrows. We are going to tap and hold, and you'll see that the arrow kind of lifts up under your finger, and then you can drag it over to your bow, which should highlight green. And if you drop it on top of your bow, you should now have this little tag on your bow that has Tranq Arrows in parentheses, and that means that you are shooting Tranq Arrows instead of regular arrows. Okay, so we are going to tame this trike here in just a second, but first I'm going to show you how this whole thing works on the parasaur. So if you go into the stat inventory of any creature, you will see at the very bottom of all of their stats is this stat called Torpor with all the stars. Now, what you're doing when you are knocking a creature out is you are raising that stat to a high level. And if you get it all the way up full while the creature is still wild, you've knocked that creature out and can tame it. You can also knock out other people's tamed creatures on PvP, and on PvE, if you make your creature too tired, like if you keep attacking after you're out of stam, you can also knock your creature out. So that's something to be aware of. But for taming wild dinos, you're just trying to get that whole torpor bar all the way up to full. So Trikes are another really good early game mount. You can get them at level 16. But they are very dangerous and hard to tame. That's why I've kind of come to this area with all of these rocks, is so that when the trike is coming after me, I can kind of run between the rocks and he should not be able to follow me very closely. Okay. So this is a method of taming without any way to immobilize the creature, because you can't use Ebola on trikes. They're too big. So I'm going to go ahead, double tap, and that'll draw the arrow back. I'm going to release it. And they are also very quick, so if you can run, that is very helpful. I'm a little slow. Oh no, he's already running. Oh shoot, that means his torpor is really high. Okay, he is low level, so that makes sense. So we are going to swim after him. And hopefully he makes it all the way across the water safely, because if you knock a creature out in water, as I said earlier, they can drown. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and give him another Tranq Dart. Nope, I missed. There we go. Okay, so now the trike is unconscious. Perfect. Okay, so if I go in here and look at his stats, you can see that that torpor is up. I do need to swim back across and get some berries, or you can just go pick berries from the plants nearby, as long as you're careful not to run into anything too dangerous that could kill you if you are not looking. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some berries. We're going to get this trike tamed. Need a lot more berries. Mejo berries are the best, but you can use other types of berries. And this trike is such a low level that I'm not too worried about it, because he won't gain any levels from using the right food anyway. Okay. Oh, I do have a lot of mejo berries. We'll just give him a few of those. It shouldn't take very many. Okay. So you can see he's taming up pretty quickly. I don't have any, no, that's not what I want. Drop those. I don't have any narco berries on me right now, but that's okay. I may go get the parasaur and swim across here now that I have some berries on this trike for him to eat. And I will bring you guys back when this trike is all the way up, so you can see basically that this is the way you tame with Tranq Arrows. Now there is another type of tranq once you get up a little bit higher in level. I believe it's level 62. There are Tranq Darts, which you fire out of a long neck rifle. And the Tranq Darts are one of the best taming methods in the game because they do a lot of torpor damage very quickly, but they don't do hardly any health damage. So they're better than arrows, but you have to be a really high level to use them. So arrows are like the best way to tame any creature as long as you're under level 62. Okay, so I will bring you guys back when this trike is up just so that you can see the finished product. I'm going to swim back across the river here and get the parasaur so that we have everybody close by, because I did ride over here on the parasaur. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. Okay, everyone, we are back. The trike has just finished taming, and I already have the saddle on his inventory, so we're going to go ahead and equip that to give him some armor. I'm going to do that 2-finger tap on the right-hand side of the screen to put him on passive so that if we try to tame something else, he doesn't hurt anything. Normally, I leave my dinos on a neutral setting, which helps to keep them alive. That means that if something attacks them while I'm not around, they can defend themselves. Well, you know what I didn't do? I didn't get that creature to follow me. There we go. So now the parasaur should follow me since I did the tap and the whistle for the follow. Yep, she's swimming after us. Okay. So now that we're back over here, there is one more taming method I would like to show you guys, and that is with the slingshot. Now the slingshot you actually can make before the bow and after the club, so it's kind of a middle range. Let's go ahead and stop those guys. It's a middle range taming method, and it's okay. It's not great. So what you need for the slingshot is you need to make it, and I believe you learn it pretty early on, level 6, so right before you learn the bow. So if you make that at level 6, and you gather up some stones, because it just takes stones to use, tap and hold, and then you hit a creature with it. And try to dodge the poison here. There we go. Okay. So it's less effective than Tranq Arrows, but it is more effective than a club, and it's good for taming from a distance for something like a dillo that can attack you if it gets too close. You can also bola the dillo or a raptor as well if you are taming those items. Okay, and so now the problem with a dillo and any other creature that is what we would consider a carnivore, so a dillo, a raptor, rexes, anything like that, they need meat to tame. So luckily I have done a little bit of hunting as we've been out, and we've collected a little bit of meat. So we are going to go to the dillo, we are going to give him a little bit of meat, and it is going to eat that up. Oh, that's just an oviraptor. We're okay. They eat eggs. Their preferred food is eggs. So when you knock out an oviraptor, you have to have a lot of eggs ready to feed it. Okay. Cool. So we won't need to use any narcoberries or narcotics, but they do work the same way on carnivores that they do on herbivores. And once this dillo is up, we will have tamed our very first carnivore. So as you can see, we've done a few different types of taming today. We've tamed up the moss chops passively, the parasaur using a club and a bola, the trike using Tranq Darts and kind of running away, and then we've tamed up this dillo with the slingshot here. All right, and now we have our little dillo. Dillos make really great little guards early in the game. If you get a few of them, it makes it a lot easier to survive because they will run around and attack anything that is attacking you as long as you leave them on neutral and have them follow you around. So they're a really good little bodyguard when you're wandering around on the beaches. Okay, so there you have it, everyone. Those are your taming basics. If you did find yourself enjoying this video at any point, please do remember to hit that like button. It seriously helps me out. And if you want to see more content like this, you can, of course, subscribe. You can also follow me on social media, which I have linked in the video description down below. And signing off, this is the Iguana. I will catch you guys in the next one.